Morning, this is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. 80 degrees in the tiny house on wheels, 26 out, but it's only 7 degrees 5 miles away. So my little meadow, my little microclimate, is a beautiful place to live. I really am happy here. First time I've grabbed the camera yet today because I have been working on the video. I didn't have a video processed until this morning. It's uploading now, and I deleted a bunch of trolls and comments and filth and junk. Speaking of deleting all that junk, please bear with me. I'm one person trying to delete the comments from about 60 or 70 alternate accounts and trolls. Please have patience. I see a lot of people slamming me and saying, Troy, you said you're going to stop the bickering. Troy, you said you're going to delete the trolls. Troy, you said this. Troy, you said that. Oh, you're a liar. No, I just happen to have a life outside of YouTube, working outside or helping people or doing whatever. And when I get to the comments, then I delete all the filth. You will notice that at a certain point in the day, eventually when I get to the comments, I do clean them up. So please bear with me and have patience. I am one person. There are 55,000 subscribers on my channel, and I am one person, so I'm not there 24/7. So please forgive me for not getting the comments done live as they're uploaded. But I am doing it. I think you can go back and see some of the videos and see they're pretty clean. So I'm really working at it and really trying. Now, the trolls still have their back doors, so there's nothing I can do about that. YouTube has allowed it, and YouTube has made this mess that I have to deal with, and there's nothing I can do. Nothing at all. So all I can do is clean up the stuff that I can see. As long as the trolls are allowed to block me from viewing their comments, then that's the way YouTube wants it, and there's nothing I can do. So I can only delete what I can see, so forgive me. Sunny today. It's supposed to be snowing. I am not complaining. I am quite happy. I've got some tree bark sitting up here that's going to the birds. There are worms in it. I think it's I forgot what it's called, some kind of borer beetles. I've saved it up and I'm going to take it over to the chickens. Chickens have already eaten twice this morning. I gave them food last night so that when they come out in the morning to eat right away at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then they when I get out here first thing in the morning, I give them some food. Usually about 7:30 I feed them, so they get basically a double breakfast, and then they get food in the afternoon, and then again, like I said, just as in the evening, I toss in some food for them for the next day. So they're doing all right, providing me with 4 or 5 eggs a day, so that's pretty good. No wind really today to speak of, but we've got solar power galore. 10:30 in the morning. Still cleaning my kitchen cabinets out, so forgive the mess on the counter. Got 500 watts of solar power, and we're in absorption mode. Battery voltage is still high, but I'm working on trying to adjust it. Last night I set it on a different setting, and it's still 15.5 volts. There are multiple settings in this charge controller that you can set and adjust. I'm trying to find the right settings for this forklift battery, so bear with me as I experiment and try to get that straightened out. Now, I've got the modem on and the laptop running. I'm uploading a video right now, so I'm a little bit late on uploading, but I had to process the video this morning. But everything with time. It will be live soon. Anyway, I am working on the solar today. I hope to get out there and build a insulating case for the battery bank. I am going to use fiberglass insulation for now. It will attract mice. It is going to become a disgusting, putrid, stinking, filthy mess because the mice are going to go in it and make nests and poop and do what they do in it, and I will have to deal with that later. But I prefer to have these batteries warming up. This much current going into these batteries is going to warm them by day, and at night I'll be able to use them, I think. I am not using the batteries because at night they cool off, and I refuse to use the batteries and hurt these. My experience with the golf cart batteries, if you use them when they're cold, it hurts them. I do not want to do that with the forklift battery, so I only run power in here during the daytime hours when the solar is running, and at night I run on battery powered devices and on the laptop's own battery right now. My generator is still out of commission. The DC generator is working, but I discovered why it broke the belt. It actually is, the pulley on it is too small. Now I wouldn't say, how do you say it? It's a deep V and it narrows down as it goes, and what it's actually doing is it's stretching the belt, because it's as I run the generator, the belt is being pulled deeper and deeper and deeper into that very narrow V, which is causing it to burn off the sides of the belt, causing it to become thinner and thinner. So next time I'm in Tractor Supply, I'm going to buy a different pulley for that DC generator with a wider V, a wider base. I don't know the proper terms, so forgive me. I will be putting a different pulley on that engine, and then I will be able to protect the belts and make it last longer, because this one is also now burning up, and that shouldn't be. And anyway, once I insulate and warm up these batteries, I shouldn't need the generator at night anymore at all, because this is a massive battery, 750 amp hours, and I'm pumping in 30 amps continuous all day long. Already at 9 o'clock this morning, this was in absorption mode, so that is very, very good. And the sun wasn't even fully on the panels yet, so these panels are really pumping the power. And I think the wiring job I did, even though I used an extension cord, is probably the best wiring job I've ever done to date on the solar panels. So they're doing really good. So it's 500 watts now, and again, the sun isn't even directly on the panels yet. It hasn't fully cleared the trees, so I'm doing pretty good. Well, I'm upset with myself. Been working all morning here, and I just now grabbed the camera. It's 12:30, a quarter to 1 in the afternoon. What I'm doing is rewiring my entire system today and making it all very neat. I have run screws into the wall and I'm zip tying. That's the solar panel and wind turbine wire coming in. Nothing is connected right now. I'm putting on an actual switch, which will be in a box. I'll have a row of switches on here in a nice neat box with a cover, and there'll be the solar panel on off, the charge controller on off, the power inverter on off, and wind turbine on off will all be there, all the disconnect switches. Right now I'm just doing the wiring because I can't find the other switches. I have a bunch of these just like this. I'm not quite sure where I put them because I bought them a year ago and never got around to it yet. So anyway, what I'm doing right now is hooking up I've got the positive from the solar panels coming into the switch, the disconnect switch, and now I'm connecting the ground wires to a common terminal up here. I hope I can show you as I work. There's a common solar panel terminal up in here. Let's see if I can make room. It's also very tight quarters here, trying to work around a camera. So that's part of the reason I didn't really grab it yet. Let me see right here. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is this is the negative wires of the solar panel, which are not yet connected. And the other one is here. And that'll be a common ground with the wind turbine as well. Although the wind turbine is, again, a separate line, it shares a common ground with the solar panels. And that'll change pretty soon, because quite soon the entire system is going to be a lot different anyway. Let me see what I got here. This is twisted. Why are you winding like this? I want this to be up and this to be down. The switch is going to go here. This is in. I need my screwdriver. So there's one solar panel coming in. I'll put it here. I'm going to try to do everything nice and neat up in here. Under the counter, under the kitchen counter. Well, that's not very good. I guess I gotta tighten that screw. Something's not working up here. This is very awkward. I'm trying to work around the camera. It makes it hard. Oh, I'm not under the screw. I guess I can end up putting solder lugs on there, might be best. I thought I was going to do this really neat. I bought all these things from Lowe's, but it's just not as easy as I thought it was going to be. That doesn't clamp down as far as I was hoping. Well, that's sort of stupid. Doesn't clamp down far enough. I'll have to put it together with the other. I was hoping to do them separate. Now, okay, I got a diode between now. I salvaged up a diode from my old setup until I got new diodes coming from eBay. Should be delivered any day now. But until then, I scrounged up an old diode for the positive wire of my solar panels. I will be replacing that. Which means a couple dollars lost because I'm going to end up wrecking a ring terminal for temporary use, but I'd rather do that and have it safe, finally, than to have it rigged up anymore. So this is the one coming from deep out into the meadow. Now this is not the size wire that's out there in the meadow. It's about a 2 gauge, I think, running through the entire meadow. Just so you know, this is not the same size as that one out there. That is huge out there. I gotta tighten that on there better. Now watch that be too big. That'd be annoying. There we go. So a while back, I bought a bunch of these strips so I can connect things properly. The problem is this only has one connection for a screw. One hole for a screw, so it's not going to be very sturdy at best. That's better. Now, let me see. I've got to run the negative wire from the charge controller over to there. Here's where it's going to be awkward for you to watch and follow me because you won't be able to see what I'm doing really. Not very well. See, I'm going to run from that charge controller over to under here. So basically, it's going to come out and down to here, across to here. Strip these off. One goes in the charge controller and one goes in that grounding strip, and then I can turn on the solar panels and see what happens. And they should have power. Then I've got to go find those switches that I have. Oh, that's ugly. That's not cool. There's some corrosion on that. Find all my switches and finish the all the switch boxes. On-off switch for everything. And do it upright. Okay, now that'll go up inside. I don't know if you can see up in there now. I should be able to. Camera adjusts itself as it likes. Now this will go up in here. The negative going to the charge controller from the solar panels, the main negative wire. Okay, and then that'll go up inside, and then all my wires are going to run through. All my wires are going to run through a piece of trim going across to under the counter right here, just straight across. I'll have a hookup. Now, as of now, there should be no power to the solar panels. I hate working inside a small place like this. Makes me nervous doing this. Shouldn't be any power at all, no sparks, no nothing, because the switch is off. When I turn the switch on, now we should have power. Now, just so we can see here, I'm going to put the faceplate on. And then I'll show you what's going on. Just put one screw in there loosely, so we got it holding on. Okay, now we have, can you see it? 12.7 volts, 0 watts, 0 amps, nighttime. Alright, now I'm going to flip the switch over here, which should turn on the power to the solar panels, to the charge controller. Boom. And we should have power. We've got power coming in. Nice. Whoa, 800, wow, 900 watts. Wow. Wow, that shouldn't be. 60 amps. It's bringing in 60 amps right now. Wow. That's insane. Look at that. That's the max this it can handle. Now I found out the alarm is because this is reducing current. Now I've got maximum charging. Those batteries, if they weren't topped off of 4, they're going to be topped off quick. 900 watts coming in right now. Look at that. Absorption mode. Wow, that's nice. Absorption mode right now. Okay, now I've got a little bit more work to do. Oops, sorry. On the wiring, but I think it's lunchtime. I'm going to take a break. I've got to do this switch box for this, a decorative switch box across the side here. I'm going to take these wires off here and put them over here. Everything's going to be on the one wall, all nice and neat and orderly, and everything's going to be zip tied together and organized. Everything here will be zip tied together. Actually, I'm going to do that before I take my lunch. I'm going to zip tie them together so they look neater. And I'm going to take that temperature sense wire and wrap that in with that as well. And start straightening this place up. Now the big wire coming down, that's going to run along and be tied in with all the others. I'm going to put some screws in to tie them up too, and everything will be nice and neat in here finally. Actually, I guess I can do that now. I'll put the screws in. You can watch. I'm just going to put in a bunch of screws on that wall so that the zip ties will stick together. I know somebody's going to comment about my M&Ms. I got them at 75% off. I couldn't pass that up. I don't eat a lot of sweets, but every once in a while I like some chocolate with my coffee. And that was nothing. That was cheap. So, we'll go ahead and do this now. Whoops, the watts jumped down to 660, 43 amps in absorption mode. Probably the charge controller is reducing what the batteries need. So, let me get my screws where I put the box. I need to find the screws that I was using. It's a little bit tricky down here. Let me pause the camera. As soon as I pause the camera, I found the screws right by the drill. So, since I don't have staples or wire ties for the wall that big, I'm just going to run screws along here, along a line. Of course, I'm going to have to redo that once I put paneling up, but that'll be fine. And these are just to hold the wires a little bit neater. Okay. Now, this is the main power coming in and out. I'll tie him in. Zip ties. So no more ugly chaos out here. And that'll be hidden inside a piece of trim later, like I said. A lot of people are going to be happy to see this. All my friends with OCD are going to be shouting for joy once this is done. And then I'll run inside. So that'll all be hidden when I'm done, completely hidden inside I'll probably have a shelf up here actually, like an extension to the counter, something like that. So that'll be totally hidden. Now I shouldn't have to be messing with these wires anymore once it's done. These guys here are pretty much done. That's just going to be it's just a plus and minus for the solar panels. Since that's low current, it's 130 volts at 8 amps, so there's no serious current on this. It's not a big issue. It's going to work. Oh, that's a thick one. Even if I add more solar panels, well, no, I won't be able to add more solar panels to this charge controller. That's it. That is it. This charge controller is maxed. So, if I was to add more solar panels, I'll definitely need another charge controller. And so I would need different wires. So these wires will never have any more than 130 volts at 8 amps going through them. Broken. Anyway, I'm going to finish this up. You don't have to watch all that. There, now I'm sure that is a mega relief to a lot of people. I even trimmed the ends off for my OCD friends. And I'm not making fun of anybody. I get a lot of people saying they have OCD and they request that I make my wires neat. There you go. I do listen to my viewers. And it feels good to have it nice and neat in here now. So, I won't show you under the counter because that'll make you freak out because I'm still in the process of wiring. But now I'm going to have lunch. And then I've got to work on the sensors on the charge controller, improving their where they're connected and how they're connected. So, we'll see how things go and keep on going here and keep improving the tiny house on wheels, but that certainly looks good. Now I'm going to mount my wind charge controller up there next to the solar charge controller up on the wall, and I have the dump loads as well that'll be mounting up there, and I'm going to be mounting my modems side by side up there as well. So bit by bit, today we're going to get everything up on the walls. I didn't really want to do that before doing the paneling, but it'll be an easy job just taking that off, just that little bit of stuff there, putting the paneling on and putting that all back up. Because the paneling won't be done until after the melt and after it's warm out, because I don't want to have it splitting and cracking on me and shrinking inside here. The solar power is dropped to 370 watts, so I think the charge controller is limiting the current going into the battery bank. Okay, carefully work my way through the chaotic, dangerous mess. I've got the inverter moved over against the wall. I am fastening wires up over here neatly. Well, if you can see past the one loose wire. I'm tightening these up against the wall here. I have decided to leave that there because it's working. It's nice and neat, because my switches are going to be over here on this wall in a box, and I'm going to have the that nice and neat over here, so I might as well keep my fuses here so it's not too cluttered. I've got the space down here, so I might as well do it neatly. I reran my voltage wires and my temperature sense wires. Now I'm kicked back into MPPT mode, but that could also be because the sun is no longer directly on the solar panels. So 14 volts now, but again I won't know until tomorrow what the result of that is. I fastened the modem, but I haven't run the wires neatly yet. The other modem will go next to that, and then the wind charge controller will go right up in here next to the solar charge controller. It's after 4 already. I think it's after 4, and the day is flying. But I've neatly run all the wires, zip ties, run it up inside. Eventually it's going to come straight across and then down inside, but right now it's just hanging. Because first I've got to get the switch out of the way. I don't want to, because these are now hot with the, that's the solar panel plus. So I want to get that switch box built before I start messing with running these other wires through here. And, well, it works. It's working. So, that's where the inverter is going to live. And it frees up my entire space under the kitchen counter. And then all these wires, I need to redo all these wires, and I've got some plastic, let me see, I've got some isolator boxes that I'm going to put the a positive wire, the main positive junction is going to be bolted onto the wall somewhere, and all the wires will run into that, and then the negative I'll have one of these as well, so there's no chance of anything shorting anything out in the main junction boxes, so that'll just be screwed right to the wall somewhere. So I am now going to wait though before I do any more changes on the wires until after the sun is down, so that the, oh, now we just hit 240 watts, so the sun was just there was a cloud or something, I guess. So I'm going to let that run until sundown before I start undoing the rest of these main wires here and rewiring them. So I'm going to take a break on that, and then I'm going to go outside and try to figure out how to insulate those forklift batteries, at least for now, because we have a deep freeze coming again for the next 2 weeks. Well, say goodbye to the batteries. They aren't going to be visible anymore. Now here, what I've done is taken 2 cardboard boxes full of insulation, and in the gaps in between there's insulation. There's 2-3 layers on top. Actually, I'll fold that over later. We've got a couple layers on top. We've got 2 layers along in the back, folded down. Both forklift batteries are covered here. And got this piece of wood propped up, and that's full of insulation here. And we're going to close off this last section here with a box full of insulation and pack that up in tight. And then later on I'm going to have to reach around and behind and try to insulate on the back side of that other forklift battery, because I also want to put a solar panel on that just as a trickle charger and make sure that doesn't get frozen in the really bad 2 weeks to come. It's going to be really brutal out here, and I want to make sure that that doesn't freeze and get damaged. So really done a lot today. Rewired the entire system today, and now I'm insulating, so it's really good progress out here at the tiny house on wheels. Now there is a mouse in one of the bags of insulation, as I had feared. Actually, you can see where they tunnel through. He went through into here and had his tunnel up in here. And so, actually there's popcorn in there. I don't know where he's got popcorn from. But there is a mouse in one of the bags, because the mice, they love the insulation. So this is probably going to attract them. I'll have to put out bait. But it's definitely going to help the battery pack. Well, I've got the light was yellow a minute ago, so I fired up the DC generator. I'm only going to be home for another hour anyway, so I'm just going to run that while I'm using the computer and working on videos. But I've got 42 degrees Fahrenheit on the batteries right now. 42 degrees. Now, running the DC generator, that might improve a little bit. With the batteries being insulated, that will definitely improve tomorrow if the sun shines. I'm still bringing in 12 watts of solar. It's enough to run the modem, which is on. So, but I do have the computer plugged in as well, so there's going to be a negative draw. And that's why I'm running the DC generator for now, just for the next hour. And when I get back tonight from church, I'll check it out and see what it looks like in here. Hopefully with the new insulation on there, on forklift batteries being heavily insulated now, they hopefully will hold some charge and be okay. So we'll see how it goes throughout the night.